Cell injury happens if the limit of adaptive responses exceed threshold. Statement B. Cell injury happens if cells are exposed to mutations that affect its normal cellular functions. Which is true, which is false?
Both statement or true po?
Okay, letter C. How about Asa, Rayoso? What's your answer? What's your answer here?
Both statements are true.
Both statements are false
True po.
or true? Okay,
True po.
sige. Alright. Si Asa baka tulog. Paano naman siya? Nudge naman siya, no? Guys, okay, so let's do a rationalization for this item, no? So, remember your homeostasis. It's a process that regulates your chemical and physical parameters in the internal environment, no? So it's always suitable to meet the needs of the cell. For a good example would be your temperature, no? The response of your baroreceptors. How would you regulate your temperature when your temperature falls, when your temperature rises? Kapag nag-fall ang temperature, what do you want? Is it vasodilation or vasoconstriction? It's your vasoconstriction. So that heat is preserved, right? When your temperature rises, you want your blood vessels to dilate. Thereby, you have vasodilation. For you to have sweating, di ba? Sweating and then on kapag lumabas na yung fluid mo, no? Magkakaroon ng convection. Therefore, it will be a cooling action to your body. So therefore, you preserve your normal body temperature. So for homeostasis, once it is affected by an external stimulus, you now have your cell injury, no? If, number one, if the limit of adaptive responses are exceeded, ibig sabihin, if the threshold are exceeded, so statement A is correct. Number two, if cells are exposed to damaging insults and deprived of critical nutrients. And number three, if the cells are compromised by mutations that affect essential cellular function. So both statements are correct. Tama? Okay. So, for this one, I want you to familiarize yourself again to review yung diagram on the right side. So, makikita nyo dyan, no? Ano ba yung mga reversible injury natin? Ano yung cellular adaptations natin? Ano yung irreversible injury natin? Triggers, specific mechanisms, no? You study those and kung ano yung itsura nila. Okay? Kung ano din yung itsura nila. So, that's number one for you. Do you have questions on this one? Wala naman. Faith Mariel. What's your answer?
B po, cytopathology po.
Cytopathology. Okay. So, hindi sumagot si Bay Avril, si Hubilo, at si... Okay, so why is it cytopathology?
Ito po ng fine needle aspiration.
Okay, sige. So, that's a good that's a good clue of what branch or subdivision of pathology we're looking on, no? But if the question becomes eto, no, the thyroid specimen is being subjected to, let's say, tumor markers, ganon. Ang magiging sagot natin doon would be iba na, hindi na siya cytopathology, no? On this case kasi, it's your microscopic study. So therefore, it's your letter B, cytopathology. So for this one, I want you to study the different branches, subdivisions of pathology, along with the different examples din. Okay? Kasi, most likely, the questions will be, anong branch or subdivision to ng pathology? Ganyan. So, you choose the best answer. And mind you, hindi lahat ng FNAB ay gamit for cytopathology. Minsan, it depends on the test being done. If it's microscopy, then it's cytopathology since technically you're testing for the morphology, di ba? study of cell morphology. However, if you are doing, let's say, immunohistochemical tests, then it will become immunohistochemistry, diba? On your thyroid tissue. So don't mislead yourself on those types of questions, no? So read your statements carefully talaga. You have your two types of specimen collection. You have your endoscopic, incisional biopsies, endoscopy. So technically, you're inserting a probed instrument. So it's your EGD, esophagogastroduodenoscopy, and your colonoscopy, diba? For your incisional biopsy naman, it is when during a surgical incision, like your for the case of your elective surgeries, diba? And for histopathology, it's the final or gold standard of diagnosis. For cytopathology naman, you can screen cancer kasi technically you are isolating cells, di ba? Individual cells. You can also diagnose cancer. However, when you're gonna stage cancer, you're gonna lean towards what? Histopathology. Kasi nga, for histopathology, you're studying tissues. So therefore, you can see the correlation of the normal from abnormal tissues, no? Gaano naka-affected yung tissue na yan in relation to the adjacent tissues, no? So, ayun. Feeling ko naman by this time, sa ulo niya na yung advantages and disadvantages ng histopathology and cytopathology, no? Okay. So, the right answer is letter B, cytopathology. Okay. So, number 3, Francine, Haley, and Jason Ezekiel. Read the statement and then answer. So for this one, again, let's recall apoptosis. Di ba, we have two pathways, the intrinsic and extrinsic pathway. So thank you guys for your participation. Jason Ezekiel, sagutan mo yung susunod na tanong ko, no? But you have your mitochondrial as your intrinsic pathway and your death receptor or death domain pathway, death receptor pathway for your extrinsic pathway, di ba? So, for intrinsic pathway, it happens on the mitochondria. There is an increase in permeability of mitochondrial outer membrane, di ba? With that, no, nagkakaroon tayo ng release ng cytochrome C. Along with that, your ATP pwedeng lumabas from the mitochondria and your secondary messenger, which is your calcium, pwede siya lumabas sa mitochondria, no? So, technically, the intrinsic pathway of apoptosis is determined by the integrity of your outer mitochondrial membrane. So ito yung mga different factors natin that are being observed sa intrinsic pathway of apoptosis kapag na-upregulate yung BH3 mo, no? BH3 mo. Ngayon, bababa, ma-down-regulate nyo yun, si BCLs mo, no? So therefore, ma-activate si BAX and BAX sa outer mitochondrial membrane, allowing cytochrome C leakage. So tong pathway na to, I want you to study this one. Ilang beses na natin to nadaanan, but this is a very good diagram to explain what's happening sa extrinsic and intrinsic pathway. So your caspases is your common pathway, no? Nitong dalawang pathway wherein kapag na-activate si initiator caspase, it now becomes your executioner caspase, thereby resulting to endonuclease activation and breakdown of cytoskeleton. So more apoptotic bodies are being formed, which are being engulfed by your phagocytes. Tama? So for this case, the correct answer is letter E, none of the above. Why? Bakit? Kasi it oligomerizes within the outer mitochondrial membrane. Okay? So always read your statements carefully. So, ano ba ang counterpart ng BAX? Yes, sa outer, you have letter B, your BAX and BAC. Ano ba ang counterpart ng BAX and BAC sa inner mitochondrial membrane? It's your, can you remember? It's your MPTP, your mitochondrial permeability transition 4, right? So, it's a different entity. Okay, so always read your statements carefully. Unahin ko muna si Job Poblete. So, what's your answer on number 4?
Sir, all of the above po.
All of the above. Okay, Jester Di Maisip, what's your answer?
All of the above din po, sir. Hindi po.
Okay. Si Jason Ezekiel, what's your answer? Wala pa din si Jason Ezekiel. Okay. Nako talaga. Pag chat, pakitawagan si Jason Ezekiel. Pati yung mga hindi nagre-respond kanina, guys. Minove na natin to ng online, no? So, okay. Sige, let's answer number 4. So, mitochondria can be damaged by you have your increased level of cytosolic calcium, your accumulation of ROS, cirrhosis, no? And you have your oxygen deprivation. Diba? So, note that your mitochondria technically is a central counterpart when it comes to cellular damage or cellular injury. Bakit? Kasi it supplies your ATP. It's your powerhouse. No? So, it can lead to necrosis or apoptosis. Okay? If there is mitochondrial damage or dysfunction from your ischemia, from your hypoxia, your toxins such as your cyanide, your radiation, your ultraviolet, no? They interfere with your oxidative phosphorylation. So therefore, kung kulang si oxidative phosphorylation, kulang din ang ATP generation mo and dadami ang production ng reactive oxygen species mo. So therefore, since kulang ang ATP generation, ang energy, tapos may ROS ka pa, magkakaroon ka ng multiple cellular abnormalities kasi those are ingredients, no, for your cells to undergo necrosis. For apoptosis naman, it happens when there is leakage of mitochondrial protein, di ba? Si Bax and Bach, they will oligomerize outside the mitochondrial membrane, no? So, ang mangyayari, mag-leak out ngayon si cytochrome C, si ATP, your calcium as well, no? Leading to apoptosis or your programmed cell death. So, ayan na. Mitochondrial damage is a critical point in all pathways leading to cell injury and death. And it can be due to number 1, increase in cytosolic calcium, your reactive oxygen species, your oxygen deprivation, and lastly, your mutation. So, tama ang sagot nyo, all of the above. Si Cristabel Hidalgo. Ulit-ulit na tayo sa necrosis, no? Master nyo na to. By the way, tama yung sagot ninyong tatlo, no? It's letter B, an unregulated form of cell death resulting from damaged cell membranes, no? Eliciting inflammation. Okay. So letter A, what does it tell us? A conserved survival mechanism maintaining the integrity by recycling essential metabolites. It's your autophagy, right? It recycles your essential metabolites. Letter C, letter D, technically, letter C can be, it can be apoptosis. Letter D can be apoptosis din. And it can be caspase dependent. It should be caspase dependent for it to be classified as apoptosis. No? So for this one, I think master nyo na yung difference ng necrosis and apoptosis. Tandaan nyo lang kung ano yung morphology, kung may inflammation ba or wala, kung ano yung mga triggers, no? So you have a very good figure dun sa book to differentiate them, and itong table na to, if you can study this table and master it, no, it will help you a lot sa mga cases. Okay? Kasi a lot of cases will tell about the morphology ng cells being observed, no? So it's very important na makita ninyo ano ba yung nangyayari dyan, what to expect, no? So tandaan nyo yung morphology along with the triggers, ano ba yung mga triggers nila, no? Along with kung may inflammation ba o wala. Ayan. So tandaan, ang may inflammation lang natin, ang wala lang nating inflammation would be your apoptosis and autophagy kasi sila lang yung may preserved cell membrane integrity. Lizelle Gicole, Maricon, and Mariel Anasco. Read the statement carefully and answer. Choose the best answer. It all happened. So the question is just asking for, the item is just asking for the first, no? Kung ano yung initial reaction. So tamang sagot nyo, letter A, opening of your MPTP. Okay? So for ATP depletion, mitochondrial damage, again, we have ischemia and hypoxia as the main major cause of ATP depletion. Along with that, toxins like cyanide, no, interfering with your oxidative phosphorylation. Okay? So once na nagkaroon ka ng ATP depletion, magkakaroon ng ATP depletion. It's because of your MPTP, diba, formation inside the mitochondrial membrane, resulting to number 1, loss of mitochondrial membrane potential, failure of more oxidative phosphorylation, and progressive ATP depletion kasi lalabas na nga siya. So, letter D is correct. Lalabas si ATP, no? Letter C, apoptosis by direct activation of caspases. Lalabas si ATP, si cytochrome C. Ayan. So, letter B, lalabas si yan, yung enzymes, si potentially deleterious effects. Yes, tama naman siya. If lalabas pa si calcium, then the enzymes will be activated as well. So, all of them will stem from your opening of the MPTP. Yan. Your mitochondrial permeability transmission pore. Ayan. So, paaral din ako nitong table na to. Table figure rather, no? Itong figure na to, paaral ako. Outside the mitochondrial membrane, it's your box and back, no? Sa intrinsic pathway of apoptosis. Oh, number 7. We have, what's your answer sa case na to?
Letter E po, hypertrophy.
Okay. Mariela, what's your answer?
Wait lang po.
Okay. Sa case na to.
Kasi po may hypertension po, kaya po nalaki po yung muscle cells.
Okay. That's a good observation no, sa case. Mariela, baka may sagot ka na. Okay. Can you share to us bakit E ang nasagot mo?
Kasi po kapag yung yung blood pressure po is mataas, magkakaroon po ng severe na parang chest pain po. So, i-increase din po yung muscle.
Okay. Sige. So, thank you guys. Michael, tama yung observation mo, no? May hypertension. Actually, this is a typical textbook case of your left ventricular hypertrophy. Okay? So, what would you see on the myocardium? Syempre, lalaki talaga ang left ventricle mo kasi nga, the hypertension is persistent talaga. Diba? If left untreated for years, then there is persistent mechanical stimulation, no? So there is a need for the muscle to accompany that load, no? So kaya siya lalaki in size. So ang mechanism natin for hypertrophy is your increase in protein synthesis. It's because of your mechanical or stretch receptors. So for your cellular adaptations, I want you to study the different examples of each. So, ano ba to? Ano ba yung example ng physiologic atrophy, pathologic atrophy? Ano ba yung example ng physiologic metaplasia, pathologic metaplasia? So, madaming lalabas na ganung case, no? So, for this one, tama si Michael. It's hypertrophy kasi there is an increase in cell size leading to increase in organ size due to the increase in workload. Okay, so hypertensive, for the heart to continuously efficiently pump yung blood, oxygenated blood, no? It has to undergo hypertrophy kasi nga mataas yung blood pressure. Yung buntis. Okay. So ito yung examples natin ng physiologic and pathologic hypertrophy. Alright. So thank you. Letter E ang tamang sagot for number 7. Number 8. Okay, so number 8, sino nang sasagot? We have,
I guess, sir, it would be adaptation. Do I have to
Uh-huh.
justify it now, sir? Or do I have to justify
sige,
it now?
yes, you can share us why you chose adaptation.
Well, looking at it quickly, we know that the disease state revolves around her chronic renal failure. But for this particular case, it could be the elevation in her serum urea nitrogen or nitrogenous compounds. But the interaction between the disease and the treatment adjunct, I would suppose, nutritional changes or changes in her intake, if not the direct treatment of the diuretics, entails that there was no permanent cell injury, and therefore her cells were able to recover, which is not the renal failure portion. So that's why I chose adaptation, sir.
Okay? Sige. Thank you for that, Rafael. Sige. Si Nicole naman. What's your answer?
A din po, sir.
Adaptation. So, paano naman adaptation yung napili mo? Ano yung, tell us about the case. Bakit? Why do you think adaptation is the answer?
Yung ano niya po kasi, sa pagkakaintindi ko lang po, dahil po sa chronic renal failure po niya, through yung dahil, di ba po sir, meron po yung chronic renal failure po.
Oo.
And yung cause po nun, parang dahil po sa diuretic medication po niya. So parang dahil po doon nagkaroon po ng adaptation.
Sige. Si Rain. Mikhail Padernal. CRF patient. Mataas ang BUN mo. Your BUN along with your creatinine are your kidney function tests, right? So, binigyan siya ng diuretics, nag-lose siya ng 2 kilograms, no? Along with that, nag-reduce din siya ng protein sa diet niya. Bumaba ngayon yung BUN niya. And BUN and creatinine being your parameters for renal function, no, bumaba siya. So, ibig sabihin, it is a reversible type of injury, okay? Reversible type of injury. Kasi bumaba siya. If irreversible na to, dapat wala ng effect. Diba? So, for this case, metabolic derangement, pwede. Irreversible injury, no. X agad yon. Kasi, syempre, it's reversible. Nakita natin na bumaba yung BUN niya, yung parameter na mini-measure for it to be classified as CRF, no? Bumaba yung BUN. In response to the medication and lifestyle modification. Necroptosis, it's irreversible. It's already cell death, no? Necroptosis. Apoptosis, it's also cell death. So it's either letter A or letter E. Okay? So for this one, tandaan natin ang examples ng adaptations. Ano ba yung reversible injuries, irreversible injuries, no? Babalik tayo dito sa figure na to sa right side. Ayan. So, like what I've mentioned sa inyo last time, no? For you to really differentiate, maganda ma-picture ninyo itong table na to, itong figure na to, along with their different constituents, no? Ano ba yung mga irreversible injury, so on and so forth. And there is this graph, no? Naalala niyo pa ba to? Yung duration of injury really tells us whether the injury is reversible or irreversible. So for the case, it's your renal function, your cellular function na na-affect, no? So, since bumaba si cellular function kasi nga CRF siya, no? Gumawa ka ng modifications, lifestyle modifications, and then take ka din ng medications, nag-normalize kasi bumaba yung BUN mo, no? So technically, this is just a reversible cell injury. Which, correct answer is letter A, tama, adaptation. All right. Sige. Si Rain. Rain, nandito ka na ba, Rain? What's your answer? Hello?
Sir, dinig niyo po ako?
Yes?
I think di po. All are true. Probably
Okay.
because... Wait lang po, yung mic ko.
Sige, go, Rosmandy.
I think, sir, intercellular calcium homeostasis is super crucial since yung cytosolic free calcium is kept at low levels para hindi magkaroon ng unwanted cellular activities.
Mm-hmm.
And yung most intracellular calcium po is stored in your endoplasmic reticulum and not the mitochondria or lysosome. So, and lower calcium level po can activate enzymes na pwedeng maka-affect sa calcium balance po natin. So, I think, sa tingin ko lang po, all of the above,
Okay.
if I'm
Sige.
making sense.
Okay, go lang. Thank you, Rosmandy. Mm-hmm. Reunier, Adrian, what's your answer?
Sir, letter A po.
Okay. Why?
Para po maiwasan yung, katulad po sa sinabi ni Ross, para po maiwasan yung mga extracellular activity or yung activation po. Ganun po.
Mm-hmm. Sige. Tama naman. Rain? Thank you, Reunier. Rain? Baka nandito na si Rain? Wala pa din. Okay guys, ano nga si Rain. Calcium ions being your secondary messengers can activate a lot of enzymes. So technically, once na it is upregulated or tumaas ang concentrations niya sa cytosol, ma-activate yung mga enzymes mo. You have your phospholipases, you have your proteases, so on and so forth, no? So, ano ba yung causes ng increasing cytosolic calcium? You have your ischemia and your toxins. Paano yung ischemia? Kasi, syempre, may ischemia ka, mabubuksan ngayon yung ischemia and hypoxia, therefore will damage your mitochondria, leading to leakage of mitochondrial calcium to the cytosol, right? Kasi ang storehouses ng calcium natin ay yung mitochondria and endoplasmic reticulum. Okay, your toxins, along with that, like your cyanide can interfere with your mitochondria, oxidative phosphorylation, lalabas din si calcium. Okay, nako-connect nyo na. So ito yung itsura niya, no? So it should be maintained at very low concentration inside. Kasi madami siyang pwedeng i-activate, no? Na enzymes. So, the correct answer is letter A. So, tama si Reunier. Okay. So, isa-isahin natin. Bakit? So, we are asking for the correct statement here, diba? True of intracellular calcium homeostasis. Cytosolic free calcium is normally maintained at very low concentration. Yes. Most intracellular calcium is sequestered in the mitochondria and in the lysosome. No, it should be mitochondria and the endoplasmic reticulum. Diba? And letter C, decreased level of cytosolic calcium may activate a number of enzymes. So is it the decrease in level of cytosolic calcium? No, it is when the cytosolic calcium increases. So read your statements carefully. Ayan. So the correct answer is only letter A. Cytosolic free calcium is maintained at very low concentration. All right. Let's move on to number 10. So,
letter A, sir.
Letter A, acute pancreatitis.
Yes, sir.
Si Trave, what's your answer?
Po, sir? A din po.
Okay. Sophia.
Letter A din po.
Okay. Si Shan, what's your answer?
Letter A din po.
Okay. Si Vincent. What's your answer, Vincent?
Letter A po.
Okay. Si Sophia, why do you think letter A is the answer here? Ano yung ano yung clincher mo dun sa case?
Yun sa gross appearance po, may chalky white po na ano.
Okay. Chalky white deposit. So kapag may chalky white deposit, Jefferson, Villahermosa, anong type of necrosis yun?
I think, it's usually fat necrosis, sir.
Okay, tama. Fat necrosis, no? So, technically, fat necrosis. And on this patient kasi, madami kang clue no? You have your elevated serum lipase, okay? Which can be attributed to your acute pancreatitis, di ba? Along with that, there is chalky white deposits sa mesentery. And mind you, the location of mesentery is very much adjacent to your pancreas, no? So, ano to? Pretty much, ano siya, prototype case for liquefactive, for enzymatic fat necrosis, no? On a setting of your acute pancreatitis. So, tamang sagot is letter A, acute pancreatitis. So, remember this one, di ba? You have your lipase breaking down your triglycerides. Ano ba ang building blocks ng triglycerides natin? We have your fatty acids. So, once they are free, no, your fatty acids will now react with your calcium, and then there will be a process called saponification. Tapos, from saponification of calcium and fatty acids, you have the chalky white appearance, grossly seen, no, sa specimen natin. So, just to recall yung fat necrosis natin, no, it happens on acute pancreatitis and breast fat, no. It is when there is saponification. So, saponification will manifest as chalky white areas. Yan. So, those are the areas of necrosis. So,